What is going on, guys, and welcome to another Beta Memoirs episode. Yes, we got a 2X stock, and it is an EV stock. Now, this is a particular stock that I haven't particularly looked at myself. I was kind of pointed to this stock, but being said, I've been really looking in the EV space, looking for something new, and I have found it. I believe, what is going to be the next 2X stock in the EV space, if not more. So before we get started, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So stock market news, let's go ahead and get that out of the way before we get to 2X stock. Not much has really gone on today. There's still a lot of impeachment stuff going on. I think everybody's kind of just in a holding pattern at the moment. So yeah, not a lot to report today. The market just kind of chillaxed today, to be honest. I haven't been really up to date on any of the other news. Today was an awesome day in the market for myself, and I'm about ready to jump into the charts here and show you what happened today. Today was a good day. Today was a really good day. A lot leading up to today. I cashed out on Etsy today. Actually shifted the profits from Etsy because Etsy just jetted today. I shifted those profits over to BYND, which is a position I was light in before. Had gone heavier, was holding support. I was in that. Airbnb and BYND took off today. Two bigger positions I had today. So they moved up, pushed up. Let's see, what else did I do today? There was a lot that was going on today. But let's pull up the charts. And we could kind of talk through here and hit your 2X stock, EV stock. And I'll show that here. After the market here, market is still in this range. Again, I think we're just in this holding pattern until the inauguration day, and then I think we're really going to jet up. We're going to at least try, I think, to test 400, which will essentially lead us into earnings. I think that's what is going to happen. I think that's why we're just holding here. Had a couple of these little fake outs here and wicks down, but again, it's still holding extremely well today. And so again, I think we'll continue to see this until next week, next Wednesday, unless something dramatically changes. One thing I wanted to point out too, bonds and everything. Bonds are popping up a little bit, but bonds have been selling off. Dollar selling off. It's really low. Well, again, still, and gold as well as Bitcoin as well. Everything has been selling off. So I think there's going to be a big reposition of money. I think everybody's waiting for this flight pattern. Make sure nothing happens with this impeachment stuff. I think it's out of hand. Once the transition of power goes over, I can see that money just being flushed into the market. Again, we got stimulus and everything else coming. I think it's going to be a big year of runners. I also have that Kathy Woods mentality that there will be a frog in there somewhere that's going to drop the market at some point. So something to keep in mind to not get too crazy about it. Okay, so before we actually get into this, I want to get into this 2X stock. Again, this isn't one that I particularly found. I do play other ones. I do play Billard, which is one that I've talked about before, but it's more of a European company for electric buses. And today, this one was brought up to my attention, was BLBD. And as you can see, it's already skyrocketed. I did take a position in this already. And the reason being behind this, especially this particular company, because of the fact that it's created in the US and they make an electric bus. It's already producing these buses. It's not like Nikola or whatever that company was that falsified a bunch of jazz and did all that stuff. These buses are already made. And so with that being said, you have a new president coming in who has already let it be known that he wants to convert buses or the transit system to electric. I have talked about this before about renewables, obviously with blue across the board, that EVs are going to have a big year. Any kind of renewables are going to have a big year this year, plus stimulus on top of everything. But ultimately, again, I don't want to drift away here too much. I still want to focus on this one, this BLBD. Also, I have the NGA, which is a big one, a big player. I haven't taken a position in this yet. I'm looking to take a position in this. Trying. It's not the easiest to get filled on this one. The volume isn't the greatest on this. But with that being said, Biden wants to convert buses. It's going to be buses and then everything eventually, but ultimately everything to electric. Being said, thinking he may announce this on Inauguration Day, and if he does, these stocks can really go flying. So that's my 2X stock for you guys. I wanted to kind of gift wrap that to you and then jump into my regular routine. So being said, Tesla. I didn't really trade Tesla too much. I was watching Tesla down here. I really, like I said last night, I really wanted it down, but it didn't come down today. Lucky me. I was watching this though. I almost took a position here because it started breaking over these 50 and 20 EMAs. I almost took a position here once it started breaking over the 20. And I missed it, but it was just a small enough pop. Although the moves are so big in Tesla, like $40 moves, and with if you scalp at all, Tesla is perfect for scalping. I've mainly be doing a lot of swings with shares and call options, just be aware. So I do scalp. But it is when there's a good setup, I'll scalp. I might scalp once a day, maybe twice. It really just depends on what's going on. Ideally, what I try to do is I look for better positions. Right now, there's been a lot of good positions over the past 2 weeks. Over the past 2 weeks, I closed out my Tesla that I was swinging over from last year, and then I have set up a couple of different positions in Airbnb. I'm trying to think of all the positions. Airbnb, Etsy was another big one that I took last week before the breakout, and then I really capitalized on that today. But we'll get into that when we get to it. But Tesla today, it was good. It popped and it came down. I actually took a call here for February to cover the earnings. So it was pretty far out the money. I really feel like Tesla I think they're just waiting for the inauguration day, and then this is going to jet past. I can easily see us breaking 1,000. So that's what I is essentially playing with that particular contract. Just as long as we don't get any pullbacks, because those pullbacks really destroy those options contracts. I normally play naked contracts. I've played strangles. I've played strangles. I've sold call options. I've done all that stuff. Ultimately, what I feel, it's just better to take leaps. I'm good at direction for the most part. Like I said, I wait till it hits my supply zone, and then a solid supply zone, and then I know at that point that it's time to make some money. So Airbnb today, again, it's been holding here, so I haven't done anything with it. Again, I have a pretty good, decent size position, and it finally came up today. It shot out, expecting it to run up to retest all-time highs here. If it gets up here, I will have a stop here. I will throw a stop underneath there. If it does break and wants to come back down, I'll just cash out. Again, this is my play for the year is Airbnb. I really think this stock is going to go crazy, to be honest. But I want to limit my exposure. I don't want to be staying in something, write it all the way up and then write it all the way down. That's not what I'm going to do, especially if there's a wild card in there, which could see a major correction. Again, going off of Kathy Woods, I do believe she's a brilliant woman, and she does know a lot of the trends beforehand. She's proven she has a track record to prove that. So being said, Airbnb, again, I really think it's going to jet here. I'm looking again for it to break. If it doesn't break, it'll probably get stopped out, and then look to reposition in Airbnb. For now, I'm debating if I'll hold a core position. It really depends, just on how everything goes. Square is actually one I've been wanting to get into. I'm actually waiting to see if it comes back down here to this 212. If it does, I will definitely load the boat on this and I'll write it into earnings. I'm wearing myself out pretty thin right now. I mean, I still got a good sized chunk of money on my account. So I do have that. And I think ultimately, if it does come down to this I'd really like it down here at this 212, but we'll see. I mean, 220 maybe enough to push it. I mean, it holds pretty solid support there. If it does, you can take an initial position here and then take another position when it comes down. I'll have to see, because I think Square, I mean, it's a double top right there. So you may be looking for a triple top. Maybe that's what we're doing. This flight pattern, waiting until next week, we might come down and then shoot back up and break all-time highs on earnings, I think is what's going to happen with Square. Apple, I haven't really, again, played Apple. It did actually dip down into the zone today. I was playing other things. I didn't really worry about Apple today, although Apple could have been a good one. But nonetheless, Facebook is just getting pummeled. There is solid support down here, though. It's one thing to keep in mind is this 246 mark. If you're looking for a longer swing, perhaps a couple weeks, you want to hit that 246, and they normally crush earnings. So if it's that 246, it might be well worth taking some leaps out of there, or possibly even some shares, load the boat, whatever you want to do. Again, this is not financial. This is only for educational purposes, and I'm not your financial advisor. Being said, ZM, I debated this. I saw this big candle today, and I was like, yeah, ZM's done. But then it popped straight back up and is now starting to run. I've been looking at ARK Invest. They've been actually accumulating shares a lot during this consolidation period. They accumulated more shares again today. I think they bought twice today. Being said, it's hard to tell with ZM unless ARK Invest is looking for the earnings play, which very well could. I think they could skyrocket way back up on just earnings alone. But after that, I'm not really sure where ZM is going to be after that point. So if you're looking to play like earnings, maybe I would say ZM or possibly not. I don't know. I'm spreading myself thin. I'm actually waiting for some other positions. So like I said, the EV stock, I'm going to try to get a bigger position in that tomorrow. We'll see. BYND. Actually, let's start with Etsy first, because I played this play today. I've been in Etsy since 170 range, I think it was. Got this pop, it held, and then had this massive pop today, which is an awesome play. And I put my stop here at one. I creeped it up. I had it at I think it was 203. I didn't get tagged, and then I moved it up when it popped up even more. I moved it to 207, I think, and then I finally got tagged out. So I am no longer in Etsy. That was a fantastic play, though. I do still like Etsy, unless it comes real far down, though. I'm probably not gonna bother with it. But we'll see. I mean, it did break all-time highs, so we could get continuation on that. If that is the case tomorrow, I might actually play some weeklies on that tomorrow. So that might be the case. I might actually scalp this tomorrow. If you're looking for scalps, that's probably what I'll do with that. Being said, after I did that move, I cashed out of that. I came back here. BYND is holding very well here, and I'm waiting for this to start running up for earnings as well, because I think they're going to crush it in earnings. So I added some more on it here today in the zone, and yeah, we popped up as soon as I did that, which was nice. I added because I got it at Etsy pretty early this morning. It popped up, ready to rock. I think I'm going to try to ride that a little bit further up into earnings is one I want to keep, because I think we could try to run up to at least 160 or so, and rebuild. Again, this downfall was unnecessary. It was just some analysts. I think someone was just trying to get a good entry on that one. Snow, I finally took a position in Snow. I've been talking about this. It actually broke the wedge. It held here today, and so I finally took my Snow position. I was waiting for it to come down here, but it didn't want to break this. And so I bought, and I was watching it carefully. It held very well here, and then it finally broke the wedge. So I'm expecting this to run tomorrow. I'm a pretty decent size in Snow, actually. And I think Snow will have this crazy run back up to, I mean, the next support would be 350. I could see that. And then going into earnings, which I got to check on earnings, 380, 423. Yeah, I think we can possibly retest highs or start to climb close to the highs anyway. But I have that for, so those two big ones I have is BYND and Snow for earnings right now. Again, I cashed out Etsy, which I'll probably just be scalping on the way up. NIO, it's wedging here. It's going to be a big move here. Which way? I don't know. It has ran a lot. I still am holding that hedge, that leap put on NIO. I just got a funny feeling that something's going to come out negative about NIO. Again, I'm thinking that the numbers are falsified. Again, I'm thinking of possibly delisting. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can go on here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If it's not, I mean, the position I have isn't going to hurt me, right? The position I took was based off of profit. It was nothing that affected the bottom line. So even if I lost this, which I'm willing to lose because I went into the position knowing that I would lose the money I put in for these puts, but I wanted some kind of hedge if some frog or some black swan comes out and we dive deep. I think NIO could really start falling fast on that one. Very good. Butcher, upset. I sold this. This is climbing back up. But again, waiting on a dip. We'll see what happens. I think, again, if there is that major market correction, I will definitely be loading the boat on this and on Planet 13. Planet 13 actually sold off pretty nasty today. If it does come down here to this 220, I will probably look to take an initial position again and then add on the way down. Evogen, again, wedging. It is what it is. I do have that small position in this, but it's in one of those accounts that I don't touch that often. So, you know, I see this like spiking up. So that's why I'm kind of just holding in that account because it's just a long-term hold for me on that one. 3D printing, selling off. I'll look for it back down here, 154. Starting to build that wedge, possibly into earnings. Planters. Planters looks like it's going to start running again here. May test the 30 mark again. I'm not in this. I think it's a good play. It was a good play that I was initially in, but I sold a day early. Then it started making this run up. So we'll see. Space. So space. Yeah, it's doing good right now. It's hitting demand. So we'll see if it breaks here. Yeah, hitting demand now. So it needs to break that, or else we're coming back down to the 23 mark. Win, upset. That candle, he wanted to touch it. We might get another chance for it to come back down. I don't know. It looks like it's starting to roll over. We'll see. NVIDIA, Nvidia, I'm surprised is selling off. I know I got that news that pushed it up, but again, I thought it would still have some kind of continuation, but it's dying out. TDoc had another crazy push, pretty decent push today. AMD, I actually took a position on this today. It came out and was holding here. I took an initial position here. I thought it was going to reverse. The volume came in this morning and it just crapped out. I cut my position and got a little bit of red here, but I mean, like I said, the other trades I had today more than covered, and this position wasn't huge. I mean, normally I'm a scalp, so I don't put huge money on scalps like that. So my bigger swings and leaps and shares more than cover these little scalp losses sometimes. But yeah, so nonetheless, I took a little bit of red today here, and then it turned around and spiked back up. But if you know anything about options, that would have totally ripped up that contract anyway. So the premium burn would have been nasty on that. Nonetheless, lemonade, still creeping up, but can't believe it's at 180. I had it at $47. It's all good. I've more than made up for that move anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's the biggest thing, is not to hold on to it, right? You just got to move on to the next one. It's not that big of a deal. If you hold on to bigger swings, if it's justified, right? If you have, if you believe in the company, right, and then technicals really help with that, help with your entries and exits. But the fundamentals are there. Like I typically load the boat on those and let them rip, especially if they align with pattern I'm looking at. And this Boeing actually looks like this is getting ready to wedge. The last time I saw this wedge on Boeing, it ripped like I think $100, $150. So definitely something to keep an eye on is BA is getting ready. So if it dips at all back down 204.34, like you really I might actually consider taking a position, because it looks like it's getting ready to rip here again. Maybe another test, at least try to test that 244. But it's definitely getting up there. Amazon, I did take. I didn't go heavy. I just went in shares, only because of the fact that I know on contracts with Amazon, with all the wicks that it has, the crazy wicks it's been having, like you don't want to be messing with contracts typically, because it'll rip out those contracts pretty good. So I did take some shares down here. It pinched. I grabbed it perfectly. And again, it popped right back up. I think this might be the turnaround, or that was a good support where I caught it at. I feel it was a good supply zone here. So I think we're good. I think from this point up, we might just retest here, hang out here. But I'm going to try to ride this into earnings. Again, it's not huge, but it's big enough to bring in some money, that's for sure. Again, have some other bigger plays. So this isn't my biggest play, but I wanted to get something off of Amazon here. So because sometimes Amazon can just run like crazy. Twilio broke the top here, which is interesting. I started seeing this too. If you see a pullback into here, the 330 mark, this might actually jet up. And I mean, the sky is open right now, so obviously you have the 400, which is just a nice round number that people like to sell and buy at. So being said, that might be a mental resistance there. So just be aware of that market mental resistance. Spot, I haven't really played it. I had some nice moves. Disney, I think I'm trying to look here. I think that's pretty much it. I've seen everything else. I gave you guys my 2x stock. The double down move was on BYND. Like I said, I sold and I doubled down on it today. And another good one, or two other ones that I was kind of looking at, was BarkBox. I've heard. Bark. That's not the right one. Yeah, nonetheless, if you look, I don't know what the ticker is for BarkBox, but I heard BarkBox has made some ridiculous amount of sales over this pandemic. So that could be one you could check out. Again, that's not the right one. I thought BARK was, but it's some bank, so I don't know what that is. Nintendo was also one I'm hearing could be huge with the sales. Switch 2, and with they're coming out with a Pokemon game this year. So I think earnings will be good on Nintendo, as well as you got the Pokemon game coming out this year. I don't know when exactly that comes out, but this pandemic, I know the cards themselves have been going up like we did. There's a 25th anniversary or something of the cards or something like that. With that being said, you got that game coming out and for Nintendo, so I think it's there's going to be some crazy moves out of here, I believe, for Nintendo. So if you made it this far, well, Nintendo could be your play for this year. So I could see some crazy rips breaking 100. I was looking to try to get in this. When I got the information on this one, I tried. It was after hours. I'm recording this at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I got it after hours. I think I initially tried to get in. I could not, so I'll definitely looking at this one tomorrow. Although the EV stock, I really want to capitalize on that EV play. So I think my focus will be on that tomorrow, along with Etsy for scalping, Tesla, continuation play. I'm hoping that those calls come through for me. And again, following up with my current holdings on BYND, Airbnb, and Snow. I think Snow will probably rip pretty good tomorrow. Snow's actually setting up perfectly, especially if it finally broke out of that wedge. It looks like it retested, and we might rip. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining me. Remember to hit the like button on the way out. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.